Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to start by thanking you for joining this meeting today. I hope you and your families are healthy and safe despite the current situation with the COVID-19 pandemic. Some of you are already familiar with the office and have been close partners in the development and implementation of the plan of action on the role of religious leaders and actors on preventing incitement to violence that could lead to atrocity crimes, also known as the FAIR's plan of action. Others are joining for the first time today. We are appreciative of all of you for joining the conversation today. The plan of action was developed under the leadership of my office and launched by the UN Secretary General in 2017. It has also been welcomed by the General Assembly. The plan of action includes inputs from faith-based actors from all over the world on ways they can prevent incitement to violence that could lead to atrocity crimes. A more detailed presentation on this document and its background will be provided by my staff. For those of you who are less familiar with the plan of action, I'm sure you have been promoting the same values and principles through your work. My office, in collaboration with various stakeholders, is implementing the plan of action across our regions, including in Asia. In 2017, we organized a first regional meeting with religious leaders and actors from several countries to identify how they could implement the plan of action in their particular context. In follow-up to this, we have supported country-specific initiatives as well. In March this year, jointly with the Higher Education Commission of Pakistan, we organized a series of webinars on fostering peaceful and inclusive societies and countering hate speech in that country, which included representatives of religious minorities. This discussion has contributed to the development of a training manual that will be used by different stakeholders to raise awareness on using education as a tool to foster peaceful and inclusive societies and countering hate speech. In Bangladesh, a series of meetings with religious leaders and actors organized by my office in June 2018 and March 2019, together with UN in the country, and the Save and Serve Foundation, resulted in the establishment of an Interreligious Council for Peace and Development in Bangladesh. The Council has played an important role in promoting messages of peace and speaking out against instances of hate. On 8th June, I also had the privilege to participate at the event organized by the Network for Religious and Traditional Peacemakers and co-sponsored by my office, where I learned about the impressive work of grassroots organizations in engaging with religious leaders on countering discrimination against religious minorities, fostering peaceful societies, and promoting gender equality. As a United Nations Special Advisor on the Prevention of Genocide, I'm mandated to monitor and raise alarm over situations where there is a risk of genocide and related atrocity crimes, by which I mean crimes against humanity and war crimes. In addition, my mandate and that of my office is to raise awareness on the causes and dynamics of these crimes in order to strengthen the prevention capacity of member states, regional organizations, as well as civil society. Atrocity crimes are not spontaneous or random events. They are the result of a process announced through early warning signs, which the framework of analysis for atrocity crimes developed by my office outlines. Opportunities for preventing these crimes before they become a reality exist. Early warning includes discrimination, hate speech, and incitement to discrimination, hostility and violence against groups on the basis of identity or deepening social exclusion, serious divisions or tensions in society. Disturbingly, we have been witnessing an increase in many of these risk factors across the world. For example, we have seen extreme forms of ethnically and religiously motivated hatred, discrimination, and attacks. Moreover, nationalist and populist ideologies and policies are fueling intolerance and divisions along identity lines, including racism and xenophobia. Asia has been no exception to this. In South and Southeast Asia, we have seen hate and incitement speech, as well as attacks against groups on the basis of ethnic or religious identity. In other cases, identity has been manipulated and misused to justify discrimination, hostility, and violence, and in the most extreme cases, even atrocity crimes. We must respond to these warning signs through prompt and sustained engagement, including by implementing measures to prevent intergroup tensions from escalating, by addressing hate speech and incitement, and by building peaceful, inclusive, and just societies. While it is the state that has the primary responsibility to protect populations from atrocity crimes, civil society, including religious leaders and actors, also play a very important role. Indeed, prevention is most effective when it is anchored in and implemented by local communities who are on the ground and can recognize early warning signs of atrocity crimes better than and before the government or other relevant actors. Religious leaders and actors particularly have the capability to influence large groups of populations when they use their voice to promote non-discrimination, respect for diversity, and the importance of inclusive and peaceful societies, having a real positive impact on the ground. Ladies and gentlemen, the purpose of this meeting is therefore to learn from you what has been done in your respective countries and regional contexts to promote peaceful and inclusive societies and prevent incitement to violence, and how we can support you in these efforts. The good practices and recommendations highlighted by you here today will form part of a publication by our office that will be used to support religious leaders across the region to implement similar programs. The publication will also set out recommendations for how governments, the United Nations, and other actors can support such efforts. Dr. Imtiaz Yusuf, who is here today, is supporting the office with the drafting of this publication. Your recommendations will also inform us in our work moving forward on these issues in the region, and we look forward to working closely with you in these efforts. Let me conclude by thanking you again for joining us today. I wish you a fruitful discussion. Thank you.